What's up, guys? Nice to meet everybody. This is going to be fun. I don't know if does anyone own businesses here? Okay, got a couple of people. I'll just give a little background about myself so you guys know who I am. My name is Mike Steinberg. I own Headstone Business Advisors. We're probably the fastest growing business advisory firm in the entire country right now. We're based on Long Island, and we do business everywhere. We do business in Queens, Brooklyn, Long Island, the tri-state, Florida, all and up and down the East Coast. And we're killing it right now because right now is the time, there's 30 million businesses and there's 20% are for sale at all times. It's a crazy stat. So it's 6 million businesses right now that are for sale. And there's only 5 to 10,000, maybe 10,000 people selling businesses. So if you think about that number, 10,000 versus 6 million businesses for sale, there's 30 million businesses, there's just so much opportunity. And a lot of baby boomers right now, 10,000 retire a day, about 2,000 are business owners, and their kids don't want the business. Their kids don't want to work, their kids don't want the business. So what do? They have to sell it. And sometimes they don't even know they can sell the business. It's just so much fun every day. You just get to it, you make deals. Like yesterday I was in the Bronx and I met with the buyer and the seller, and the buyer's going for an SBA loan, which is very difficult. I don't know if you guys know that. Does anyone here know what an SBA loan is? Good.
Why is it difficult?
It's difficult because they really do a huge audit on everything. They do a colonoscopy on the whole business. So it's a good thing, but 90% of sellers do not report what they actually make. So 90% of deals cannot get qualified for SBA because no one wants to pay taxes. So if you can't show in your financials what you're making, you can't get an SBA loan.
Sorry, let me ask questions.
Please, no, ask.
How was that financed?
That was a SBA 7A.
Okay,
So that one was good because the supermarket, everything's on the books. The guy put everything. He sold multiple businesses. He knows what he's doing. So let's go over the laundromat business right now. I'll go over different categories because I want to hit as much as I could in 2 hours. So laundromats, great business. It's one of the businesses that you can run passively. Not a lot of businesses you can run passively. Laundromats, you can scale them. They're asset heavy. That means there's a lot of equipment in there, and they're easy to finance because there's private banks that will put a loan against the equipment. It's very rare for banks not to look at financials, but to look at actual equipment. This business, they do that. So asset heavy. The biggest expenses in the laundromat business, when I'm speaking to a cash laundromat guy that doesn't report income and his taxes, what am I going to ask him? What's your electric bill? What's your water bill? If his water bill is so low, he's not doing any business. If his electric bill is $2 a month, he's not doing business. So I need to reverse engineer it, understand the expenses. So on that sheet of paper, you're going to see all different expenses. Let's jump. So I ask, what's the water bill? What's the electric bill? How many employees do you have? That's a big thing. In business, people is the most important factor in business. Who's your employee? Oh, I have a manager, he's been there for 6 months. I had another manager who's there for 6 months. That's a red flag to me. I have a manager, he's been there for 7 years. I owned it for 7 years. That's a green flag. Laundromats, you want a good lease. It's very important to have a strong lease because there are people in the laundromat business, they're notorious for this, I know them. If someone buys a laundromat, they have 5 years left on the lease. There's 1 year left. The owner of the business is panicking. I need more years. The landlord's not going to give more years. So say, you know what, no, I need $1 million. And then the buyers are like, well, my equipment's in there, what am I going to do? So when you buy a laundromat, make sure you have at least 15 years lease. It's very important. Don't do anything under 15 years because when you have it for 5 years and you want to sell it, you only have 10 years left, and then it's tough to sell. You want to make sure before you close on a laundromat, you do the equipment inspection. And these are people that we have. I have an equipment guy that can come in and help you look at the equipment and make sure that everything is in working order. So I've done deals where, they say it's in working order, and then the day after, everything breaks. You have no idea what, I mean, there's always a story. All right, so laundromats 3.5 to 5.5 times. Anyone have questions about laundromats?
So when you say 3.5 to 5.5 cash flow,
Yes.
are you referring to the net income?
Yes.
When you say cash flow, this is
Net income, yes. And remember, if an owner is working there and they try to put their salary into the net income, any sophisticated buyer is going to want to take out a salary out of that bottom line because that has to be replaced with your time. So if the business makes $200,000 cash flow and the guy pays himself a W-2 of $2,000 a week, it's about 100 grand a year, that's 300,000, and he's fighting you, that's the cash flow. There has to be some of that 2,000 taken out because that's time, you know, because that's a big number, $100,000 difference. And that's with every business, by the way. So that's called SDE, seller's discretionary earnings. It's what he makes with his cash flow. Any other questions?
In her scenario, when she was talking about buying a property, can you use the business profits as a way to buy the building?
If it's clean, you could do an SBA 504 or an SBA 7A. Usually with the property, it's called the 504. So there's two SBA loans that I do. SBA 7As, which are business acquisition loans, up to $5 million max. And then you have SBA 504 that has the conventional loan, and then you have the 7A combined. That's called the 504. So the conventional is a lower interest rate, and the 7A is prime plus 1 to 2, so you're looking at 9 to 10 points in the SBA. And then the conventional is, you know, 6 to 7 in that range right now. So you blend them together if you want to do that, what you're asking.
Sam, the pharmacy is going to be.
Yeah.
The lady, she wanted to get out, she wanted to sell. How much do you want? 700. Yeah, but I got an SBA loan and my house is attached, So I had to put up my house.
She was losing the house and she's
So SBA dangles this 10%. They take your kids.
Yeah.
So these are 10% bits. Unbelievable.
They tell you 10% to get you in the door, and then once you're in the door, they're going to raise it up on you.
So you guys ended up with a seller, right? From a buyer's perspective, right? What is your like structuring a package for a buyer look like? For me, like I like 3 years of monthly statements. Am I crazy?
It depends what type of business. I mean, we have a data rooms, like we just picked up a playground construction business where they build playgrounds for kids. And in that data room, we have everything you need. We have monthly statements, we have tax returns, P&Ls, everything you need to look at, balance sheets, you know, and then you have a car wash where you'll get maybe a scribble piece of paper. So every business is a little different, but whatever you're looking for will help you.
Well, the thing is this, with the scribble piece of paper, I'm not going to, right? Because it's like I'm not buying it because I don't want to be the person holding the note, take my house
So
away,
guess what?
right?
You're spending all your weekends. Wash your teeth with a car wash, the quicker. How many cars do?
That's the best way to do it. And that's what I do when I buy, because I own car washes. That's what I do. I go in there and I go in the cash, I make sure I get into the cash register as the manager. I hire someone to go in there as the manager during the due diligence period. And he's seeing the cash. I need him to see the money. Someone that I really trust. And then if he, you know, adds up, then we'll move forward. That's the only way, but that's how you get them to hold a longer note. You get them to, you know, you get married with them a little bit.
How ideal would it be to try to get an SBA loans with partners? Is it better to just do it alone, just, you know, raise a little bit more money, or?
Is the partner someone like a family member, or is it,
No.
no? Someone you trust?
It's someone we could say we trust him, but can't trust anybody really. So he has had experience with businesses before. So I want to buy a laundromat. He has had experience with dry cleaning.
Okay.
So he wants to go more into laundromat because dry cleaning is more effort, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the picture.
And he's gonna put money up too with you?
Sorry?
He's gonna put capital up with you?
Yes.
Good.
but he has more capital than I do right now. So I
Okay.
have to raise money. So I'm trying to figure out, should I go and find my own money or put both our names into a loan?
If he has the same amount of money as you or more, that's actually good. He has experience. You're getting tied in with someone that's experienced, so it's better, it's good. You could do both together. It's gonna be stronger for the loan. They're gonna look at both your assets rather than one. And it's definitely worth looking at options too. Like you could put that on the table, and then you could put something else on the table, and before you make a decision, you combine and see what's better. Just keep in mind, SBA right now, the prime rate is 7.5% today. You know, SBA loans, they're going between prime plus 1.25 to prime plus 1.25 to 2. So we're looking at, 7.5 plus 1 is 8.5. So 8.5 minimum to 9.5, 10. So it's a little higher than, it's a little high, but if the business is making 25, 30%, it's still worth it.